there's a saying we used to have, and Robert used to say this, and I love this. He'd say, professionals solve problems and the amateurs cause them. And as a business owner, you see that happen all the time. People on your team that seem to create problems, and people on your team that just always solve them. And so the willingness to make a mistake, the willingness to just be a self-starter and go do things, and not wait to be told what to do, not wait, to kind of ready, fire, aim a little bit, to get going and just take some action and learn that you're actually more bulletproof than you think. Because financial mistakes they don't harm you physically. They set you back, but you learn so much if you keep going. So I would say top of the list, best teacher ever for me is making mistakes, is losing money first before you learn to make it. I've made mistakes in every asset class multiple times, and that's how experience comes, and that's how you learn. So I would say number one, top of the list, is the skill of not wasting a great mistake, and also the willingness to make a few and to have some risk bite you. It's a great way to learn about risk, and it's usually not fatal. It's usually not, physically harmful. It's just financial. So that's a big one. It's just get over the fear of making a mistake. Then I think a person can really start to learn.
All right. I couldn't agree more, even though the pain that we go through helps in the long run. Looking back, those pain hurt, but I grew so much from pain. But thinking about that, all right, accepting mistakes, my next area of skill set, what should I focus on?
Well, if you want to be pedantic, right? If you want to say, well, let's be traditional, what are the books I can read, or the things I can learn? I think financial education starts with the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and learning how a financial statement works. One of the things in Rich Dad, Poor Dad that I think made it what it is one simple thing. Robert removed numbers from the financial statement and replaced them with arrows. And that simple move of removing numbers and putting arrows there, it just brilliantly showed people how cash moved and what cash flow was, how it flowed through. And I think the ability to read a financial statement, we call that a fundamental analysis in the industry. That's a fancy term for, knowing how to look at the important stuff, is you begin to be able to diagnose things the same way a doctor would. When we go to the doctor, I often use this metaphor. I could have a bone sticking out of my, arm here, and blood everywhere, and they'd still say, Mr. Tanner, let's step on the scale and get your weight, get your BMI. So they bring in this special scale that can handle it, and they say, are you serious? I go, I got a bone sticking out. They go, oh, good, yeah, let's use the other arm to take your blood pressure. So there's just certain metrics and certain things that make a body run well, and when you learn those, you can make predictions about health and physical things. For example, a doctor could look at 100 random people, and he might not pick the winner of the 5K, but he can pick the guy who would never finish it. And so as an investor, we might not pick the best company, but we're not going to pick the one that's going bankrupt. And so it reduces risk. So an ability to read a financial statement is a huge deal.
I absolutely agree with that. Now thinking, last question here for you. For someone that's listening right now thinking, I want to start working smarter, not just harder, what's one simple, actionable step that they can take this week to begin learning the skills that lead to wealth?
There's a lot of things. I mean, well, we can segue and use that as an opportunity to plug stockcastbonus.com for sure. I mentioned the ability to read a financial statement. What's there right now, we've got a downloadable book that helps people turn that into action and actually learn how to change a financial statement. It's one thing to learn what they are. It's another thing to know how to change yours. And it's like key performance indicators. How do you tweak certain numbers and change what the financial statement looks like. That's a huge part of entrepreneurship, is being able to look at a business and find the different numbers that need to be tweaked and start learning how to tweak them and figuring out how to tweak them. So yeah, that financial statement's a big deal, and learn how to tweak it. So go to Stockcast Bonus. That's actionable. Another thing is to get teachers in your life and mentors in your life. Warren Buffett constantly credits Benjamin Graham. Robert Kiyosaki constantly credits his Rich Dad. Phil Town credits the Wolf. Everyone had a mentor. Everyone does. I've had mentors. People, books are good. I often say that books are for people who are interested in success, but coaches, mentors, teachers are those are people who are committed to success. If you were going to commit to a gold medal, you're going to win a gold medal in whatever event, you would be less likely to be a person who read a book about it and more likely to be a person who had a coach in that area of your life. So coaches, mentors, teachers, if you want to work to learn, start hanging out with people you can learn from.
Fantastic.
That's something you could do like 2 days. So, making mistakes, learning how to learn, having mentors in your life, choosing teachers, setting aside time for learning every single week, and reading and just really focusing on getting smarter.